Welcome, Kevin.
Yeah, I had a quick question for you, Darth. Is there... No, I appreciate the way you do this, but is there a way to present tag without arguing for intelligibility?
No,
Okay, because I was...
because intelligibility
Mhm,
is what is required to speak about the world.
I agree.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so
that, again...
intelligibility derives from actuality. So you can't talk about actual states of affairs unless there is some semblance of intelligibility.
I had an atheist argue with me that whether he can identify what is ultimate or not, he can still understand that facts exist even though he can't ground where they come
He
from.
doesn't. He doesn't understand the metaphysical landscape. Most of them don't. He's in a state of ignorance. So
Okay,
to have intelligibility for any state of affairs requires metaphysical background information.
I agree.
Okay. Another way of putting it would be ultimate context. So
Right.
any facts that we have will either be, as I say, emblematic or entail ultimate design and intentionality by the, excuse me, I have hiccups, by the mind of God, or not. When one accepts that the facts of the world individually and collectively indicate entail God by God's purpose, those facts are creaturely facts. They exist, remain in existence by the mind, the purpose, and the plan of God. So they are contextualized by God and his purpose. So they're creaturely. When that is not accepted, facts are going to be brute, which means there will be no ultimate reference point
Right.
ontologically, metaphysically, as to what it is, if at all, that something actualizes the things in the world.
Right.
Now, they just take it for granted the actuality of a multitude of states in the world because they're in
Right.
God's world, but they want to give
Right.
God the middle finger and
Yep.
go on their merry way thinking that they can do without God. Well, this is colossal foolishness because
Yeah, it
when you
seems like most of
disregard
them don't
God, then
understand.
you're operating. See, it's really simple. Either we're going to acknowledge that God is and that he has revealed himself in creation,
Right.
and consequently, therefore, the mind, the purpose, and the plan of God actualizes the unity and diversity in the world so we can speak intelligibly, or they're going to adopt that something else does. But there is no something else to put on the table.
Right.
So their position is worse than the biblical position, the one that they reject from their perspective.
Right.
So they're
And
adopting an unknown something else that they have no evidence or
yep.
justification for. So when they say anything in their world, like the sky is blue, the tree blows in the wind, every time they speak, they're violating their own criterion of belief that they use to dismiss that God is the ground of being.
Right, and I understand that. It
And they
seems like
don't
they're
and they
straw
don't
man.
they don't care because you see their position is not intellectual, it's ethical.
Right. It seems like they're straw manning the position where they're trying to make it sound like we're saying that they can't know anything unless they have an ultimate reference point. Where I'm saying they do, but they're borrowing from our worldview to do it.
We're not saying they don't know anything.
Exactly. Yeah, I know, but that seems like that's the
We're,
straw man.
what, what,
Like I
what
was
we're
listening
saying
to
is
Tom
if their
Rabbit's.
worldview, if their
Sorry.
God denialism was true, they couldn't know anything. No intelligent opposition. What does that tell you, folks? They're afraid, very afraid.